Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We have so much cleaning, decluttering, and especially reorganizing to get done today. This is going to be such a satisfying video, but before we can get to any of that, I needed to clear out this massive mess in my living room. It was piled high with boxes because our dining room chairs just got delivered the night before, and I literally could not wait. As soon as they were put on our step, I had Derek bring them inside. I put them together immediately. I love them so much, but then I just left this mess until the next day, of course, because that's just what I do sometimes. So I'm having to pick out all of that styrofoam, throw away the packing supplies, and then break down the boxes for recycling. Also, we had our old chairs in here, and I just stacked those and put them out on our front step because I sold them on Facebook Marketplace, and the person who bought them was on their way to get them. I always love when things work out that way, where I'm bringing something new into the house and having to sell the old, and it sells instantly. That person can come pick it up same day. I don't have to figure out how or where to store it. It just feels like all of the stars are aligning and it's meant to be, and it gives me this extra boost of confidence about the new pieces that I'm bringing into my home. At least that's definitely the way I was feeling about these chairs, and I cannot wait to share them with you in the dining room makeover. We still have quite a bit to go in that room though, so make sure that you are subscribed if you aren't already. Turn on your notification bell to notify you of all new posts from me so that you don't miss whenever that video uploads, because it is going to be a good one. It's coming together so well, and I just really love it, and I'm excited to share it with you. But anyway, the real reason why I needed to be clearing out our living room is because I had more furniture to build. I feel like that's always going on in our house, or at least this year it has been. But this is just a nightstand that I have for my oldest daughter's bedroom. We got her a matching set of nightstands and a little dresser. We were really wanting to make her room as functional as possible and also maximize on the space in there, because Kinsley's room is the smallest bedroom in the house, and it can be a little bit of a challenge trying to fit all of her things into that room in any kind of cohesive manner. But I have got to tell you, we finally nailed it. Wait until you see these pieces in her bedroom. You are going to be blown away. They match with the theme or the cohesiveness so well. They added so much extra storage and way more function into her space, and we're all just absolutely in love with it. She, most of all, is just really enjoying it, and that's what matters, of course. I wanted to make sure that she was set up nicely for the new school year. I wanted to get all of her furniture right, the entire space calm, decluttered, organized, and just make sure that she's starting off this new year on the right foot. So that is what we're really focused on today, is just making sure that things are in place for her. It's been 2 years since she has gone to in-person school. We've been forced homeschooling, and we are just ready for her to get back into the classroom, but I do know it's going to be a huge adjustment in our schedule, so I want to make sure that the transition is as smooth as possible.
Getting nowhere, yeah. If winter blows here, baby, I fear we gon' disappear.
If you've been around here for a while, then you may be thinking, wait a minute, Kinsley already has a dresser, so what are you doing with that, and why are you getting a new one? And you're totally right. Not too long ago, I did declutter and organize her closet so that I could fit a dresser in there to keep it out of her floor space, but also give her enough clothing storage. We found that dresser on Facebook Marketplace for only $15. It was a great find. I had full intentions of refinishing it for her, but it just ended up not working out for her exactly as we had wanted. And she expressed to me that she really would like it out in her actual room, taking up some floor space, and that she would prefer a cohesive set of furniture. So I did want to honor that for her. I started looking for the right pieces, and I did finally find them. She is so in love with them. But we won't be getting rid of her old furniture. Actually, that dresser I'm going to be using in a bedroom makeover for my nephew, and her old nightstands I'm going to be refinishing for my master bedroom. So don't worry, we're not trashing them, we're just moving them elsewhere. But once I got all of her clothes switched over, now I'm moving on to her homeschool space. She has this desk from IKEA that she absolutely loves. It worked out so well for us with homeschool and also with all of her arts and crafts. If you know anything about Kinsley, you know that she is an artist through and through. But sometimes artists have messy spaces, so I'm just cleaning this up for her. I found these Everspring brand multi-surface wipes at Target. They were on clearance for like $1, and I thought that they would be great because they're non-toxic. So I brought some in here. I'm actually leaving them in here so that she can use them herself. Every time she uses her desk now, she can wipe it down, and I don't have to worry about any harsh chemicals or anything like that. They've actually been working out so well, and they smell amazing. But anyway, I'm just going to wipe down her desk and then reorganize all of her art supplies. I found this organizer at HomeGoods, and it is perfect for what we were needing. I love it so much. All of her makeup fit in here and all of her current art supplies that she is loving. Plus, there was a little extra room to grow, which is always what I'm looking for with organization. It's been working out great for her. She's been having a way better time doing art in general and has been spending way more time at her desk, which we love to see because she's always the most creative when she's in this space. But in that drawer where I used to have some organizers for all of her supplies and makeup, now I can store away all of her sketch pads, her media paper, her colored pencils and charcoal set, all of those things. And she just has a much better space that suits her needs 1,000 times more than what was here before. We also were able to take out all of the homeschool items since we won't be homeschooling again this year. And I did not film that portion because my husband actually handled all of her homeschool. So I just had him come in, sort through everything, make sure that we weren't going to be decluttering anything that we really needed, and he kind of moved all of that mess out of there and handled that for me, which I was so appreciative of because then I could just move on to vacuuming her floors and getting up all of those pencil shavings around her desk because, like I said, she spends a lot of time there, and that is always the messiest area of her floor. So I'm definitely taking my time vacuuming really well in here, getting all of her carpets cleaned, and just making sure that her room is in tip-top condition. And look at how it turned out. I love it. It is such a calm sanctuary space in here, and more importantly, she is loving it. It's exactly what she wanted, and I'm so glad I made the time for it. But now this is the next day, and this is what my toddler's room is looking like. So I couldn't do Kinsley's room without doing Sawyer's. I'm gonna get in here, get everything cleaned up and organized for her as well. If you notice that I'm pushing things just off frame and wondering what that is, I'm so sorry. I thought that I had positioned the camera so you could see this pile, but this is just everything that I am decluttering. I was going through every single thing in her room since I was going to be in here cleaning up anyway, and making sure to purge all of the toys and clothes that no longer suit Sawyer, that she's no longer playing with, can't fit into. It all started with her clothes because she had a another growth spurt, and now she is officially out of toddler sizes, which is just wild. She's only 4 and she's currently in a kid's size small. That is just insane to me. Just another example of how my baby is growing up. She's going to be starting school this year. It's just a little bit of an overload if I'm being honest. But anyway, since I was going to be decluttering through her clothes, I figured let me also declutter through all of her toys and get this bedroom right. Because for a while now, it has been accumulating things in here and it's just overwhelming. It's overwhelming for Derek and I when we try to help her clean her room because all of her toys are all over the floor all of the time. She's a little toddler tornado. She doesn't just play with one thing, she pulls everything out. And it's also a little overwhelming for her because I feel like she is partially doing that, trying to get through all of the things that she does not want to play with to find something that inspires her. So I've noticed some patterns, some things that she just never plays with anymore, hasn't touched for at least 6 months, even though they've been accessible to her. So it's time to go ahead and declutter and donate those items and only keep what she's actually playing with. Trying to sort through all of Sawyer's books, I got rid of almost nothing and realized that this is actually a very difficult category for me to declutter. I have a little suspicion that it's probably because of the way that I grew up. I had an insanely traumatic and chaotic childhood at all times, and looking back on it, I definitely used reading as like a trauma response or a coping mechanism. I would read literally from the time that I woke up until the time that I went to bed, and I felt like while I was reading, it was almost an escape. Like I was living in that world for a little while instead of living in my reality, and it definitely helped to get me through some really difficult, dark times. But anyway, now as an adult, because of that, I have such an attachment to books and I have a really hard time parting with them. So it's okay though, there are worse things that I could struggle to declutter, and we do get a lot of use out of our personal library.
We've said our goodbyes, but we won't go home just yet. You got your head down, just like when we first met. I can't believe it's ending. Why did we f it up? So stupid and upsetting. How can I give you up? We've said our goodbyes, but we won't go home just yet. Let's stay here in this moment, pretend that we're not broken, and
Okay, so here it is, the massive donation pile. I am so proud of myself. I feel like I really did purge everything that Sawyer was no longer playing with and made her room so much more manageable for her, which was definitely the goal. But this was a massive pile, so I'm just gonna snap my fingers to get everything out of here. I wish real life worked this way. In reality, I just turned the camera off and it took me about 40 minutes to separate everything, get it all bagged up, and get it out for donation. But it felt good to finally have that done, get all of these things out of the house, and know that we are only keeping the things that serve a purpose for our family in this current season of life. But now that everything is out, I'm going to finish up in here by vacuuming the floors. I know it looks like I'm going super fast, but that's just because I sped these clips up. In reality, I was nearly slow vacuuming. I was just taking my time, making sure to get into every nook and cranny, and making sure that the carpets were in the best condition possible. I don't know about you, but this is always such a satisfying part of cleaning for me. I feel like this is just the cherry on top, the bow on the present. It just wraps everything up nice and neat and just gives you permission to take a deep sigh of relief and just know that everything is as good as it's going to get. So anyway, now that I'm finished, this is what Sawyer's room is looking like, and she is loving it, playing in here so much more, and she is ready for the school year now. I hope that you all enjoyed today's video, that it gave you a ton of motivation. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me today, and I'll see you all in the next one.